Students, welcome to lesson 10, and today is Thursday, September the 17th, and we will be working today with multiplicative area and perimeter. This is day 1 of 2. Multiplicative area and perimeter, day 1 of 2. Our learning target or I can statements for the day is I can determine the area of rectangular figures and apply their knowledge of multiplicative comparisons to find the area of figures. Essential questions. How can patterns within the number system help solve problems? How are numbers related to each other? Our problem of the day. How can I determine if a number is prime or composite? Make a list of 5 prime numbers and 5 composite numbers. And as a reminder, a prime number, it has only 2 factors. An example would be the number 3. 1 and 3 are the only factors of the number 3, which means that there are just 2 factors. And a reminder that a composite number, it has more than 2 factors. An example would be the number 4. The factors of the number 4 are 1, 2, and 4. I want you to write those into your notebook. So on yesterday's lesson, we applied knowledge of factors and multiples to solve and to determine the area and perimeter of rectangular figures. So today we're going to do a little bit more practice on that. We're going to make a rectangle with a width of 1 inch. The length is 3 times its width. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on, it says click here and the arrow is pointing to the tools. So we're going to click on that. It's going to bring us up to a different, to a website so that we can actually make our rectangle. And again, if you're watching this recorded video, you did not attend the live session, you can always click on this help button right here with detailed instructions also. So when you clicked on the tools, what comes up is this screen. Okay, so where we can build a rectangle. We've practiced with this before, and in order to build your rectangle to fit the criteria, and again, the criteria is you're making a rectangle with a width of 1 inch. The length is 3 times its width. So the length is 3 times its width. So you're going to use these tiles to make your rectangle. So you're going to use these tiles. So drag and drop however many that you think you need to make your rectangle to fit the criteria. Okay, so we're going to pause and give you a couple minutes to do that. So on our next slide here is actually our answer key for the rectangle that we should be building. And a 1 inch by 3 inch rectangle should look like this. It's basically 1 times 3 is 1 row, and there's 3 in each row. Okay, so 1 row, and there's 3 in that particular, in just that 1 row. So next, we're going to make a rectangle with a width of 3 inches. The length this time is 3 times its width. So we're going to make a rectangle with a width of 3 inches. The length is 3 times its width. And we're going to use the same process here. It says click here with the arrow going here. You're going to click on here. It's going to bring you back up to that same different screen, different website where you're going to be able to build your rectangle just like we did on the previous one. So we're going to pause and give you an opportunity to do that. So our answer key for that rectangle that we just built looks like this. A 3 inch by 9 inch rectangle is what we just built, because it says make a rectangle with a width of 3 inches. Okay, so width of 3 inches, and the length is 3 times its width. So it's got a width of 3, and 3 times its width means 3 times 3, which is 9. So that means we've got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in each row. Our next 6 slides are going to be for independent practice on area and perimeter and multiplicative area. Okay, so the next 6 slides are going to be independent practice for you to work on. So let's go to the first one. So here, so our first one here for independent work, it says a garden is 3 feet wide. Its length is twice as large as the width. Find the area and perimeter of the garden. So you're going to use a visual model to support your answer. So you're going to use the rectangle tool and or the text toolbox to create your model. So when you go up here to the shapes, you can build your rectangle. Okay, you build your rectangle and to whatever size that you want, and you are going to label it using the text box. You can label it using the text box, and inside of the text box, you're going to be putting your labels in. What dimension goes over here? What dimension goes for each one? Okay. So when you do that, you got to put your labels in. You're also going to be putting your labels on the inside of it. All right, so that's going to be for the next 6 slides. You are going to work independently on that, and you're going to complete it before you submit it. Complete it before you submit it to your teacher. Yes, I'm just going to go in and click through them really quickly. So that's the first one. That's the second one. And it's the same process for all. You're just going to build your rectangles using your tools, and you're going to use your text box to label them. All right, so those are your independent work. And here on our last slide, our task for the day. Complete the previous 6 slides that I just showed you for independent work. And also, I want you to go to Khan Academy, and I want you to complete any unfinished assignments in Khan Academy.